We're live. It's 11:15 again. Well, it was a second ago, which is how time works. But I actually, turned on the live at 11:15. So on time two Sundays in a row. This is a good sign about commitment. Oh, and I just wrote this article about mottos, which isn't up yet. It'll be up on Medium later today. But that's a commitment thing too. So breathing first. Inspirate, and suspirate, that ancient call in. And we're going to be talking about that because today's show is about adrenal exhaustion because of what we've been all going through for the last many months. And Ohio gozaimasu. I'm Garrett Quayle, author of Botanical Shakespeare. Don't worry if you get one, it won't look like this. It will look nice. Anyway, okay. So adrenal exhaustion, somebody was saying to me this week that, this is Shakespeare Therapy, Herbal healing we decided on. Somebody was saying to me that they're not that interested in herbs or herbs over in America. And, well, it's actually about, like I said last week, nature's pharmacy, alternative medicine, except that really the alternative is the chemical stuff. This was the first medicine cabinet. Outdoors is your medicine cabinet, and nature is free. And thought is free, and that's why we do, that's a Shakespeare line, but it's not the line of the week. That's why we do this, to help your brain and help your body, because I don't know about you, but I cannot get an appointment with my doctor. And, medicine, prescriptions are ridiculously expensive. And you could go outside and, as Gehanna said last week, get some chamomile, as long as it's in a safe area that isn't sucking up pollution, and use it as a mouth rinse and get rid of sore gums and all that kind of stuff. So, and I didn't get to the farmer's market yet. I plan to go, but I don't have the hemp for you. I put it in my green drink. And, sorry about the straw. My glass one just broke. Anyway, it makes things very creamy. So if you can get hemp and put it in a green drink, it makes it incredibly creamy, interestingly. And it's so good for you, as we talked about in episode 7 with Tammy Sweet. And anyway, so adrenal exhaustion. The reason that we chose that is because it's wearing us all down. And there's been talk about difficult sleep patterns and energy loss, even though we're not as running around doing as many things as we normally do, because, breathing again, because of the lockdown. But it's like adrenal exhaustion is the hormone that's the go out and get hormone. It's actually very male oriented. And one of the breathing techniques that I use in my classes is to breathe in and to access the oxytocin, which is a tend and befriend hormone and more female oriented. And it actually helps you get things done, but in a less sort of stressed kind of warrior way. And nobody's ever heard of oxytocin exhaustion. Just saying. So adrenal exhaustion is like, we have all these programs running in the background that are, even if we don't feel stressed on the surface, nothing particularly bothering us, it's eating up your hard drive space. It's eating up your operating system, mostly. So Hannah has some herbs to counteract or help soothe adrenal exhaustion. And so the line of the week, before we bring Hannah in, is it about rest? Is it about, no, we did all that. I just found this through a friend's comment the other day, feeling like she never gets anything done. She never finishes anything. She never, gets to her goal. And there's a great line in a Ben Jonson play about a character, and that it says, he begins everything and finishes nothing. And, I that's why I was so happy to finish the motto article last night. Anyway, so the line of the week is, and write this down while I'm saying it, because it will help you remember. It's a tougher one. Yet how we a brain that nourishes our nerves, which is that N thing I was telling you about, alliteration, helps you, a brain that nourishes our nerves and can get goal for goal of youth. Now, the goal here is not youth per se, because the other thing we talk about is wisdom, and wisdom is gained through experience and knowledge. And it's not that you can't have a wise youth, certainly, but what Anthony means, and there's a clue as to where it's from, what Anthony means is that he can get all the soccer goals. No, just kidding. Anyway, that what he means is that his brain is so nourished, he's so healthy that he's invigorated, and the youthful systems have more ability to fight off disease, for one thing. So that's the goal there. So, and H-A apostrophe is have. Now, people get put off Shakespeare sometimes because of the elisions and apostrophes. But think of ours. We do a lot of them. I had some Japanese friends staying years ago, obviously, because nobody can visit now. And we were saying, I'm going to go to the store. And they were madly looking up Imena, the word Imena, which is I am going to go to the store. So when Shakespeare does, it's the same thing. It's just different words that they chose to elide or abbreviate back then. So it's nothing to get, too worked up about. Yet have we a brain that nourishes our nerves and can get goal for goal of youth. There you go. Antony and Cleopatra. Actually, my friend Kate, I have a lot of friends named Kate. One of her favorites is from Hamlet, and it's a really simple little line, about my brain, which means just turn it around, think again, remind yourself, remind. And she always says it when she's stuck or blocked or trying to think about things differently. So my hair made me worry that I was going to be stuck in a pet shop window this morning. But anyway, sorry. As Fleabag says, hair is everything. But I just want to show you, I got this yesterday at Anthropology. I was so excited because it's a planter. Can you see what she has in her head? I teach these classes every year at Columbia for the Scholastic Press and journalism classes, and I use these images of all these things growing in your head, because not only are you what you eat, you are what you eat, you are what you think and what you put in your brain. So this is why we're putting healthy words in our brain and healthy herbs in our body. And anyway, she has some Shakespeare stuff in there, which is all I could find. But I love her, but she needs a name. I think we are going to have a little contest to name her. Anyway, okay. So we're getting on to adrenal exhaustion. Let's bring Hannah in. Hi, Hannah.
Hello.
I don't know if there's an herb from being double jointed, but anyway. Oh my gosh, are those concoctions behind you?
Yep.
Is that your herbalist medicine cabinet, your alternative medicine? Yay, that's excellent. Okay, so today we're talking about adrenal exhaustion. What's up first?
Okay, so the first one is nettle seed. So nettle can be used in lots and lots of different ways. You can use the root, you can use the leaf. This is all about the seed, which in more recent years, we know that it is what's called tropo-restorative for the kidneys, but as well for the adrenal glands, and the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys, and that's where this whole adrenal stress comes from. So if your kidneys are healthy, you have a much better chance of your adrenals being healthy too.
I did not know that. Okay. I have to go back to
it. With nettle seeds, I mean, certainly sort of where I am here in the UK, nettle is just going to seed at the minute. So it's the perfect time for sort of picking off those kind of dangly looking seeds and just kind of knocking them off the flowers and into your hand. They're quite small and sort of, well, they're small and green. And you can either use them fresh, you can eat them fresh, or you can dry them and to store them for the rest of the year. And what they do is they help long term to improve energy levels, and they're very supportive for things like burnout and fatigue and brain fog. And You can put them in your porridge. You can put them in your yogurt. You can put them in your lovely green smoothies like you've got there. So it'll be a great addition for that. And the idea is to start small, so maybe only like start with a pinch, and then gradually work your way up to maybe about a teaspoon or a dessert spoonful every day, and cumulatively then you'll start to get that beautiful restorative effect.
Okay, we talked last week about a little bit about how to forage and where to find these things. Nettles is, again, not something that Americans use as much as British people do. But they actually are everywhere. I didn't really notice them until I did the book. And, they are all over the place. Are they easy to grow, too, if you want to?
Oh, they'll grow anywhere. Once you've got nettle, that's it. And the butterflies really like them too. So they're really nice just to have a wild patch of nettles growing somewhere. You're going to do your butterfly population a lot good too.
So I got, again, a bunch of them at the farmer's market earlier this summer, and I made tea and I made soup and I put them in mashed potatoes. And so there's all kinds of things that you can do. And nettle seed is funny because Shakespeare talks about fern seed, and the seeds are so small. It's a joke about being invisible, sort of like Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. They do sting, though. Let's talk about the sting.
Yeah, I mean, because there are lots of different. I mean, there are things called dead nettles which don't sting, and they aren't actually nettles at all. They're a bit like mint. But for this, we're talking about the actual stinging nettles, the one that you walk past and you go, ow. So the sting has. I mean, historically, people used to hit themselves with nettles to bring the blood to the surface and to help heal.
Yeah, but that always brings me up with. Friar Lawrence talks about, there are good properties and bad properties to every plant and flower. We'll do that at another episode. And Richard II says, yield stinging nettles unto mine enemies. So he wants them all to be walking through the fields and go and get stung. But docks, if you crush up a dock leaf which grows nearby and rub it on. And what was the other one you said the other week that you can rub on a stinging nettle burn?
Well, stinging nettle, you could rub on mallow, common mallow, which is Malva sylvestris. That would work quite nicely too. Bit less so. But
as Hannah was saying, if you have arthritis or things like that, people actually want the sting to bring up the blood to the area. So many uses, but this is what Hannah's talking about for adrenal exhaustion and kidney health. So, and what's the next one?
Okay, so the next one is kind of linked to that one I was saying about porridge, but oats. Yeah. The good old farm oats, Avena sativa, and medicinally it's the sort of the green milky oats that you're wanting, or the oat straw. And they're really sweet, they're really moistening, really nourishing, very sort of restoring and regenerative. And they are a deep, deep nervous system tonic. So for nervous exhaustion, if people have had long-term debility, when you start bringing oats into your diet every day, they can have a really good effect, helping to restore that adrenal and nervous exhaustion.
Okay, well, Quaker Oats here pushes oatmeal a day for cholesterol and heart disease. So, yeah, I hadn't really heard about that for adrenal exhaustion. And people take baths with oat stuff to soothe the skin. It's dry. So that's so interesting. Okay. Oats.
So I was just going to say, they use, I don't know if you had it over there, but here in the UK, back in the sort of 1970s and 80s, there used to be an advert for a porridge called Ready Breck that used to have sort of figures of people sort of walking around with these sort of little glow around them. And that's kind of what it does to your nervous system. It kind of just provides you with this sort of protective glow. It's great.
Well, who can't use a protective glow? Let's face it. Okay. And the third one that we have today, is it Hyssop? Yeah. Yay. We got Hyssop fell off the board on a couple episodes ago. So yes, tell us about Hyssop. First of all, where do we find hyssop?
Oh, gorgeous hyssop. So this is the purple hyssop that we're talking, the Hyssop officinalis. And it's a wild flower, so it's one you may see growing in the wild, but it's more than likely going to be something that you're going to need to cultivate. So buy some or grow some from seed. And we almost didn't fit. Well, we didn't fit it a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about breathing, because historically it's always had a great affinity for lungs and for breathing. That's it. Yeah, it's just stunning. And it's warming, and it's aromatic, and it's diffusive, and it has this expectorant action that helps to puff up phlegm. But for the nervous system, it is a very good nerve tonic. And what it does, it helps to balance the autonomic nervous system and to help with relieving anxiety and tension and that kind of exhaustion that you get when you are really, really stressed.
Yeah. And this is what we're talking about, is even if you don't realize how stressed you are, it's been this kind of slow drip stress that is taking a toll on people. And if you can't get to your doctor or get an appointment or get a prescription for something, which, go to your alternative medicine cabinet outside, in your garden, in your forest, wherever. That's fantastic, Hannah. Thank you so much. Those three are so great. Coming up, the three things that we're thinking about are sugar. I included sugar in the book. Most people don't include it in herb and plant list for Shakespeare, but we can discuss why I put it in there. And or aromatherapy is this buzzword, but scents, what scents do? Sense. And or what's locally growing. We might do one a month of what's local and what you can do with that. So, have we a brain that nourishes our nerves? Hannah was just talking about the hyssop and the nerves, and kept goal for goal of youth. Okay, I hope that was shorter. See you next week, I hope. And Oracle cards coming up at noon. Bye, Hannah. See you soon. Bye.